We have the backstage reaction to Vince McMahon's recent WWE TV appearances. Plus, an injured NXT star is returning next week, and another NXT star is getting a name change. It's all in the wrestling news right now. Vince on Raw. That was weird, wasn't it? That was very weird.
I don't even know what to make of it, Tom. I don't know what to make of it. It made me, I think the overriding emotion it gave me was discomfort. I felt uncomfortable on many levels watching it.
It was like if your parents going through a divorce and your dad just acting like he's everything's okay.
I mean,
was that Vince doing his Ross "I'm fine"?
Maybe. I was thinking he shouldn't be on TV in the midst of this scandal, and also, is he going to fall over? It was just an uncomfortable watch, both times on SmackDown and on Raw later on.
There's been some discussion backstage about Vince McMahon rocking up on Raw and showing up on SmackDown. PW Insider do a little breakdown of this, as well as a few sort of feelings behind the scenes now that it's been a week since the Wall Street Journal article exploded, and they've got some details about what's been going on behind the scenes. PW Insider saying the primary thing we've heard is a lot of sympathy for Stephanie McMahon, since she has been all but forced back to work, despite wanting to distance herself from the company and take a deep breath for herself. Quite a few have noted to me that they have marveled about how strong Stephanie has been, despite what was described as her mother being disrespected publicly by the situation, especially since there's obviously been multiple NDAs involving multiple people beyond the relationship being investigated by the WWE Board of Directors. There's also been a lot of head shaking of Vince McMahon putting himself back on TV in what some have seen as an act of denial towards anyone questioning him, and whether that will come back to bite him. Some have wondered if this will be the beginning of the end for him, but that seems to be a minority based on what we have heard. There's been more talk about whether larger checks and balances will be put into practice in the company, and if so, how could anyone enforce them on Vince? There is a lot of silence among employees as they are all waiting to see how bad this situation can get and whether there is something that could really hurt the company. It's been a real concern among some to keep their heads down and not get caught up in the mess, especially since they don't know what executives will end up with larger amounts of power when the dust settles. So a lot are biting their tongues on giving opinions right now, at least in places and ways that could come back to bite them.
That makes a lot of sense. It's a fantastic article by PW Insider. I think it's really interesting. We're getting good insight from them.
And I think it echoes like what you said about it being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
In a weird way.
There's an uneasy atmosphere backstage by the sounds of it, according to PW Insider.
It's more a case, I think people are just waiting to see who lands where, because nobody wants to, call out someone like a Bruce Pritchard if he ends up being sort of the deputy manager of all of it.
Someone gets caught going, "Oh, not Bruce EP, I hate him," and then suddenly, and then, well, your push is over now. Seth Rollins. I don't know why I've used Rollins. I don't know why I've used
breaking news. No. We have no evidence that is the case. So, in terms of the legal stuff that's going on,
now that sounds like there is. Now it sounds
there
like
isn't.
There isn't.
There isn't.
No, it's hard not to make this sound weird.
No, there isn't.
I'll choose another one. Chad Gable.
Oh, yes,
I've heard he hates Nick Khan. There we go.
There you go. That one's true.
No,
it's not. It is. No, it's not. So, now, as well as all the other stuff going on, there's a lot more legal stuff being mounted in the direction of WWE, isn't there?
Yeah, there are now 5 legal firms pursuing WWE. It was obviously revealed late last week that Scott & Scott legal firm were looking to hear from WWE shareholders in terms of, regarding the Vince McMahon allegations. But since then as well, the Shaw law firm have posted a press release to Business Wire. The Shaw law firm is a national shareholder rights litigation firm and has announced that it is investigating claims on behalf of investors of World Wrestling Entertainment for violations of the securities laws. The investigation is going to focus on whether the company issued false and or misleading statements and or failed to disclose information pertinent to investors. I love legalese, all the and or and everything. Around the same time as well, though, 3 further law firms also announced. And I remember people were in our work chat, someone was going, "There's 4 now," and someone went, "I thought there was 3," and then there's a 5th one, and we were all racing to keep up. But now there's a total of 5. 3 more announced that they were pursuing the same thing from WWE. Rosen Law Firm, Breaker, Eagle and Squire, and Labaton Sucharo. I don't know if I pronounced all those correctly.
It was a good shout if you didn't. This is all these companies that can, for lack of a better term, smell a bit of blood in the water.
Yeah.
And they're like, there's some money to be made here if we can get some of these investors to come and air their grievances and we can fight their corner for them. I don't know whether it'll end at 5, you know. I feel like this is almost like the PPI gold rush for law firms at the moment.
You think it'll end up just so many? I mean, how many? I thought there'd just be one representing all of the investors. Clearly, I was wrong. I don't understand what's going on at all. Now there's 5. You're right. There could be a. Well,
everyone's just, you know, if you're a law firm, I guess. I mean, I'm no legal beagle, but I assume if you're a law firm and you went, oh, there's something in this, you can. Hey, any investors want to come and have a chat with me, and I'll sort that out for you. I guess you can. We'll keep an eye on that one. There might be 6 by the time this goes out. Let's talk NXT from last night. Who's coming back next week, Jack?
It's Nikita Lyons. Yes. She's going to step back into the ring next week. This is after obviously an injury ended her women's breakout tournament run, a tournament which I fancied her to win. I think she was looking very strong, but they've managed to turn into a good underdog story with Roxanne Perez and everything. But yeah, Nikita Lyons was certainly a favorite. That got cut short, but last night we saw a training montage where Nikita Lyons was doing cardio and kickboxing with a knee brace on before putting the women's division on 7-day notice. She's coming back.
Yeah,
she's gonna kick some ass.
I like the Steve Austin style knee brace that she was rocking in that training video.
I feel bad about the way I initially judged Nikita Lyons because in her initial vignettes I was like, oh, she's good at everything. What is there to? There's no conflict here. There's no interest, because she was like, I'm good at singing and music and I can dance and I'm really good at fighting and I do kickboxing. And I was like, well, I don't
verbatim. That was the promo.
Every week for 5 weeks. And I was like, well, I don't like you then. And then she turned up and actually I found her a lot more likable and good than what I was expecting.
I really like Nikita Lyons. I really like it. What's funny is that there's an appeal to Nikita Lyons with a demographic of the audience, and you know this because you know how YouTube now has that thing where you can track where people
have
replay.
Oh no!
You watch any Nikita Lyons video.
Oh no!
And when she does her finish, which is the old, you know, splits onto the face. There's like it's a you remember the height of COVID, like when we started tracking it during the summer. It's
that's the Nikita Lyons finish, right?
It's when Total Sport starts on BBC Radio Newcastle in terms of figures. It just there it goes, and then Tom comes on, and there you go.
Oh right, it was a good. I'm sure it was a good Radio Newcastle joke. I didn't really.
Just one for me.
I only listened for Tom Campbell, so
thanks very much. Appreciate it immensely. And now we're getting another name popping up on NXT.
Yes.
And it is quite literally another name in every sense.
Yes, a new ring name.
A new name.
Over in NXT 2.0, but over in NXT UK, but soon debuting in NXT 2.0 is the man formerly known as Jordan Devlin, who is now, it was announced during this week's NXT, now named JD McDonough.
Yeah.
Oh, why did I do a Scottish accent when he's from Ireland?
I do wonder that.
JD McDonough, the pride of Scotland.
They've just decided he is Scottish. And he's like, all right, I guess.
JD McDonough. The new character name was obviously debuted in a video vignette, and it showed him basically on the balcony of his lovely penthouse in Dublin. And he was then driving around in a vintage car. They think, after the way British Strong Style were portrayed as all Peaky Blinders, basically.
Yeah.
And now this with JD McDonough. They think that we're stuck in like the 1800s. They think it's still the Dickensian era over here.
No, because then if they thought that, like he'd be riding a horse to NXT UK, to NXT 2.0.
They think it's the very early 1900s at least. They really think it's like an industrial nightmare over here. They really do.
I like how this is the second character in almost as many weeks where the vignettes have been, look how much money I've got and how great I am. I'm going to NXT UK. I'm going to NXT 2.0 because it's the Giovanni Vinci thing again, where it's just like, look at all my flashy things. I'm going with the competition is NXT,
but Dublin version,
Dublin remix.
But then you had Nathan Fraser, who really annoyed me and Ross the other week, especially Ross, because Ross used to play Sunday League football, and Nathan Fraser's there, and there's footage of him playing Sunday League football. That I was all right at football, but I could probably have made the EPL, which is the Premier League, but Americanized. He says soccer as well, which is never a good start.
Oh, no.
And he was like, but I knew that really it was wrestling for me. And Ross is like, he was playing Sunday League. He wasn't good enough for the Premier League.
They don't, but Americans don't know that much. They'll accept that you can go from Sunday League to Man United dead quick.
You can get scouted, but it's like a film.
Don't tell Americans that I said that.
There are some. It is growing in popularity. There are Americans who do understand English football. I'm not gonna try and patronise everybody.
You're doing very well. You're doing very well with the football. Look at you doing well with the hand egg. Look at you.
I've got to ask before we go, how's Pablo doing? He looked very happy with his new food.
He is a happy boy at the moment. Alex sorted some new food for him. So Alex organised all that. He's just got, it's some stuff where you fill out a form online and you describe what your cat's like.
Right.
And at one point it says, like, how active is your cat? And it's like active, inactive, elderly, or like outdoor cat or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Alex had put inactive in this thing, and I said, it's a bit harsh, he's not inactive. To which point we look across the room and he's just sprawled out on the carpet where he's been for like 3 hours because he's got a bit of the sun. I was like, all right, fair point, put inactive. No, he's in a lovely mood.
He looks very happy on the picture.
He popped up on the live reactions for Slammiversary as well in little picture form.
Oh, lovely.
So if you watch the Slammiversary live reactions, you might see Pablo popping up in the corner there as well. He's a good boy. How are mango and chutney?
Well, I brought this up for a reason, hoping you'd then throw back to me. But I do genuinely care about Pablo, obviously.
He doesn't.
I do, but I've never had the pleasure of meeting him, sadly.
Have you not?
No, I've never met Pablo.
I'll bring him in one day.
Oh, don't traumatise him. It'll be all right.
He can sit there, he'll be fine.
Chutney did that to me. I don't think you can see it on the camera. Chutney's normally the chilled one. And what happened basically was, how long have we been going for?
I mean, we've covered the.
Right.
We're over the line. This is just a little bit of fun now for people who are still sticking around.
Should I tell my chutney story?
I can tell the chutney story. We're here. Full disclosure. There's no more wrestling news.
Okay.
But if you want to stick around and hear the chutney story, brilliant. If don't, have a great day. Love you. Bye. But we'd hate you if you did.
Chutney got in the yard while I was putting my washing out, the backyard. I was hanging it on the line. He's out there, and when he was outside, he's not used to it, so he's all low to the ground and stuff. And I went to pick him up, and it spooked him, and he was just suddenly flying around the yard faster than I've ever seen him move. And then I managed to get him, and I picked him up, and then he was like struggling, and that's how I got like the scratch on my hand. But finally got him back inside, and then I apologized to him because he went and hid behind the sofa, and I was like, oh, he's not my friend anymore. But then we forgave each other, and now I've compared him to Orange Cassidy because normally he never moves fast and he never gets his claws out. He's a lovely, slow, lazy, gentle boy. but this time he was going to try, and he did try, and I thought, bloody hell, he's fast. Whoa.
Is this chutney?
Yes.
Well, that's great because chutney is orange in colour anyway.
But the other one's mango. Yeah, that makes sense.
Orange Cassidy.
Yes, Orange Cassidy. Fantastic. I'll get him a pair of shades.
Please do.
Yes.
Thanks for watching the wrestling news.
The wrestling news. Sorry.
No, we did this at the end. If they're still here, then
yeah.
That's great. If not, I told them there was no more news.
Yes.
And there is no more news. So anything else you want to talk about? Are we?
I'm all good, Tom.
I'm good.
There may be no Twitch stream tonight. We're not certain yet, but I'm sure me and Owen will put out a notice on Twitter whether there is a Twitch stream or not. But we don't know yet, so there we go.
Thanks for making us 30,000 followers strong.
Yes, thank you everybody on
Appreciate
Twitch.
that.
Fantastic.
Twitch.tv/Cultaholic for that. And more wrestling news throughout the day at cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye. Meow.